Hey guys, never stop touching it today, and we're going to be making a tier list of all the Legends All-Star banner units that I've released up till now. So there have been 13 volumes of Legends All-Star banners, and they do give some pretty decent sparkings during the time of their release and everything. And I thought, let's see just how well these are doing in terms of like in comparison to each other with all the Legends All-Stars. There's 27 in total, and I've got to say there's quite a few here that have been real game changers when they release. As I said, like really good units, and still to this day are pretty darn good. So we're gonna start off with the Super Saiyan Goten and Super Saiyan Trunks. They were transforming units, and honestly Goten was better than Trunks. I still think Goten is better than Trunks. He's just better for his teams in general. The support he gives, everything was just really nice, and honestly I still think to this day he's not too bad. So I'm gonna put him in A for now. Trunks I will also put in A, but I feel like he's a lower A, so there might be a few people in between that make it so that he is that good. But I feel like the card draw speed that dude gets, I made a showcase of him getting Zenkai buff the other day, and he does pretty decent. Not anything too crazy, but still decent, so not bad. Now the Trio de Danger, Bergamo, I'm gonna say I am putting high A tier. I think he, even to this day, is pretty powerful. Like the ability he gives is health, which is pretty good for his team. He can do quite a lot of damage, a nice amount of tanking, like pretty darn solid, especially for the teams he could be run on, so that's pretty good. Now Lavender and Basil, I'm honestly gonna put them both in B. Basil I think is a bit better than Lavender. I feel like he gets like Vanish gold recovery like 100% with his main ability, and his green card is pretty powerful. And then this dude, he's like a poison unit, but it's still not crazy the amount of damage he does, so it's not like anything too crazy if you have him or not. Okay, let's see. Metal Cooler, I'm gonna put S tier. I feel like he is still to this day a very good unit, like pretty good. Before, I think the green free-to-play Pod FRIEZA and of course the new Age of FRIEZA came out, he's probably the main green unit for LOE, and I'm not surprised. He is pretty powerful in terms of the amount of strike damage he can do. But honestly, now that LOE is more blast based, you don't really use him, and movies isn't really a team you use nowadays, so you don't really see him there that much. But still, very good unit. This Super Saiyan Trunks, I've got to say, I feel like he's probably high B tier. Like he's decent, he can do a nice amount of damage, he can, well, he does a nice amount of strike damage, his ultimate does a decent amount, he can go type neutral, which is alright for him. But honestly, there's a lot more units you'd use over this guy. I guess for being a Super Saiyan, it's pretty good, because you could obviously put him on the Super Saiyan team with Zenkai Bada, and it'll be good, but other than that, not really the best. Now Launch, honestly, you'd probably be surprised, but I think Launch is S tier. Like she is ridiculous. Like fully utilizing her, she could take on some very powerful teams. I remember, I think Goresh made a video when she first released. She was able to take out like the Zenkai Super Saiyan 2 LF Gohan, the Zenkai LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who at the time were the two like strongest units in the game. So it just goes to show, honestly, I'm gonna put her at the top of S tier for now. I think she's absolutely fantastic. It's just that the teams that she's on aren't really the best, and now that power creep has come, you'd use a lot of other units nowadays. But in terms of a Legends All-Star unit, very good. Yamcha, decent. He is pretty good. I'd put him low A tier, maybe B tier. Like he could do nice quick damage and everything, but once again, not on the best teams, and you wouldn't really want to use him as your leader slot for other teams. So that's where I put him. Transforming Piccolo, wow, transforming Demon King Piccolo, I'm gonna put above this Metal Cooler in S. A very good unit. Like the amount of blast damage this guy does once he's transformed is ridiculous. Like he gets a full hand of cards. He can just like absolutely destroy your opponents with the card draw speed and everything. His blue card is very powerful, so very close between these two being at the top. It might change. I might put him above Launch because I feel like he on his own just does a ton. Super Saiyan Broly, I'm gonna put in A tier, just below Bergamo. A solid unit, has once again a nice Z ability that gives half to, I believe it's powerful opponents, so not too bad, and is a decent option for them as well, so honestly not too bad. Okay, Revival Goku, I will put in A tier. I feel like he is still very solid. I've built him up, I have him 40 stars, and if you build him up to be a defensive unit, he does a solid job of being the tank that is very annoying for people to come across. I know there's Super Saiyan 4 Godiya, and then of course you can talk about the Hakai Beerus who counter him pretty hard, but in terms of like being a revival unit and being defensive as well, he is very good. He can actually do a decent amount of damage as well, so he's honestly not that bad of an option. Now Purple Hit, honestly I'm gonna put him at the bottom of S tier. I feel like, I don't know, I like the amount of damage he did, but like other than the damage, he doesn't feel like he was like the best unit. But honestly, the amount of damage he does just makes him S tier. It was ridiculous, this dude's damage. Like the crits as well on top of that damage just made it just ridiculous. Okay, Blue Android 18. This is an interesting one. I do think she is worthy of being A tier. I think I'm gonna put her just below Bergamo. I feel like she does a nice amount of damage, like with, I believe she makes it so that when she uses strikes, her blue card cost decreases, so you can get it pretty low, and the blue card does a nice amount, and I think nullifies endurance, which is actually pretty good. She has a nice green card, nice main ability. Nothing too spectacular, but I'd say she's better than all of these in terms of Legends All-Star units, so definitely there. MVP Android 17. Now, he, honestly, could he be my first Z tier? I actually really like him. I feel like he does a lot of damage. I don't think he's Z tier ability, so I'm gonna put him at the top of S. Okay, let me just move her. Okay, that was kind of annoying, but yeah, I think he's fantastic unit. Like a yellow unit in this sort of situation where you have a lot of purples running about, like mono purple I still come across, which is very surprising considering the best unit in the game at the moment is a yellow unit, but he does a crazy amount of purple units. Purple units fear this dude, and I'm not surprised with the lock-in with the green, the lock-in with the blue wicket so that he can just tear into them. It's absolutely ridiculous, so definitely at the top of the list at the moment. And now we got Mardu, my first Z tier unit. Honestly, absolutely a pain to come across because his endurance is very annoying. Like his kit is very annoying. The green card that he's got is annoying. He can get card draw speed with his main ability. He can like heal and everything. Honestly, they gave him just a ton of stuff that made him a very good unit, and that's why you saw him for a very long time in PvP on a lot of different teams. Especially when the leader slot became available, you'd see him just as the yellow tank endurance unit that helps out your team on a lot of different teams. It was very annoying coming across this dude, but he is very good and offers a ton of fantastic support, so I'm not surprised at all that he's here. Okay, Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku. This dude, I wanted to pull this dude for a long time when the banner first released, but once I got him, I thoroughly enjoyed this dude. He does a lot of damage. His just whole kit in general is fantastic. The speed at which he can just do a ton of damage, the burst amount of damage he has in like that first 10 timer count is ridiculous, and that honestly puts him as my second highest in S tier. I think he's a phenomenal unit. And now we come to God of Destruction Nappa, who I'm actually going to put in Z tier as well. The amount of blast damage this dude does is ridiculous. Blue units do not survive. He has that lock-in mechanic so that if you lock in let's say, the most powerful blue unit in the game, Super Saiyan, Ultra Super Saiyan Gogeta. You lock in with this dude. You use like 3 blasts, depending on like how many stars you've got. I've got mine 14 stars, so I pretty much 3 blast every Ultra Gogeta I come across, and it's absolutely ridiculous the amount of blast damage this dude does. Like, his green card is good, his blue card is good, his ultimate is good. He does a good job of tanking. He's on a very good team. Like, he's on Universe Survival Saga, which is probably a top 5 team in the game at the moment, at least, and will continue to get stronger depending on what we get for the anniversary. A very strong unit, and he is definitely Z tier in my eyes. Okay, Super Saiyan Kale and Caulifla Assist. Well, Super Saiyan 2, I believe. They are decent, but I feel like other than like their damage and their ability to get their vanish back, they're not the craziest. I do like their animation. They're like, in terms of animation wise, they're the best duo unit in the game, and that honestly puts it. So I will put them at the top of A. I think they are in between S and A, but I feel like it's more towards A. Now, Super Saiyan Goku from the Cooler movie, honestly, a very good unit. He tanks well, he does a lot of damage, pretty good damage considering he is a defensive type. Like, a defensive type unit doesn't tend to do a crazy amount, and he does do that. So honestly, I'm gonna put him over this Goku. Like, I really like him. Red movie Piccolo. It's sad what happened to this dude, because we then just are in a position where he can really shine. You can use him on other teams as a leader slot for a red melee based unit that you need to use on a melee based team, but honestly the teams he's on just didn't help him. But I feel like he is a very good unit. I'm honestly putting him as the best for S tier. I think he is a very good unit. Like, the amount of damage he does, especially now when he's got like, I think you can give him 60% boost due to the new boost system in the rank PvP. Like, he is really good. Honestly, if he had better teams, I'd put him in I'd put him in the first slot for Z tier, but honestly, because of his teams, he's just been downgraded. Very good unit. Okay, Revival Gohan and Piccolo Assist. Honestly, pretty darn good. I've got to say, they do a nice amount of blast damage. Them being a revival unit is pretty good, and a duo unit. Like, imagine when they release like an LF that's a revival, it's a duo unit, it transforms. Like, giving all these stuff that it can just have is ridiculous. And they're a revival unit that's also a duo, which is pretty cool. So honestly, I'm gonna put them just below this Goku in S tier. Very solid. It's, you know, honestly, I don't think any one is really C, D, and E. I could potentially do it like this, but I feel like that's not the case though, because actually, I'll sort that out later. We'll do that. We'll sort it out at the end. Nappa. Okay, let's see. Nappa, I think, is a solid unit. I honestly did like him when he first initially released. I felt like he just did a lot of damage. I used him again, I think, maybe a couple months later, where he get Zenkai buffed and he was pretty darn powerful. But overall, I don't know, lately I just haven't thought he's that great of a unit, which makes me put him at the top of A tier. Before, I would have probably say he was better than this Gohan, but now I don't know, he just kind of diminished in terms of how good I once thought he was, and that he's still good. Don't get me wrong, he is still a very powerful unit, and that's why he's at the top of A tier. But at first, I would have put him probably, as I said, here, or even higher in S tier. But I feel like A tier is alright for him now. Okay, one thing I thought was pretty weird is, as you can see here, throughout this whole list, we have pretty much the entirety of the Sparkings in Dragon Ball Legends. We have it so that we have the 2 latest Legends All-Star banners, the newest units to release on it. And for some reason, they don't have the Kaioken Goku and the Revival or Final Form FRIEZA pictures, which I thought was pretty bizarre considering they got the newest one, but not them. So I decided to use pictures similar to what they represent. So we got this Final Form FRIEZA and this Kaioken Goku. So Revival Final Form FRIEZA, definitely at the top of Z tier for now. I think he is fantastic. Before Revival, he has it so that his blue card is an area blue card that catches a lot of people off guard, doing a nice amount of damage as well. Nice main ability, nice green card, nice blast damage. And then once his Revival pops, fantastic blast damage, reduces the enemy's key, type neutrality, main ability, takes the Dragon Balls, draws a blue card does insane damage, like absolutely ridiculous unit. Definitely worthy of being the best unit in the list at the moment, and I'm so glad that I was able to put him on a daily summon. I think on the second to last day before his and the Kaioken Goku's banner left. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous once I finally was able to put him on a daily summon as well. So that was absolutely fantastic, especially considering how powerful LOE are at the moment. So he is definitely a unit that you need to do have pulled. You can still pull him on the latest Legends All-Star banner with these two on it, but putting him on that banner was just fantastic. Kaioken Goku, now to me, he didn't really appeal to me this unit. I wasn't really like blown away by this unit, thinking, wow, I think he does a crazy amount of damage, he's gonna be pretty game changing. And in all honesty, he isn't really that much of a game changer. You don't really see him that often. I think you saw him in the first couple of weeks when his banner released, and after that he just didn't exist anymore. I think he's decent. Like, he's a unit that's annoying to come across because of the amount of vanishes he has. Like, I'm pretty sure there's been times where I've done like 3 attacks in a row, he's vanished, and I'm like, okay, are you gonna stop? Which, it was pretty annoying, but he is a good unit. I think he is just about in S tier, in my opinion. Some people could say he's higher, some people could say he's lower, but to me, I think he's S tier, just about in S tier. He has a weird kit as well. Like, why would you want a green unit to do more damage against purple, like their worst element? I don't know. If it was more against blue units, maybe I could have seen him be a bit better, but that's where I think he is. Okay, Whis. Honestly, Whis is a unit that is really good, especially if you've got stars on Whis. I can see the amount of damage, the amount of like annoying plays you could have. Of course, Whis bringing obscure with the green card is fantastic, and honestly, that makes me put them at the top of S tier. I feel like they're close to Z tier, but I feel like, I don't know, there's a few things that make it so that they're not quite Z tier. I feel like Legends could have done a few things to make it so that Whis was a bit better, maybe a better main ability or something, or more powerful blue card or something like that. I don't know, I feel like Whis doesn't do a lot of damage unless they have a lot of stars, which is kind of annoying, but still very solid unit and definitely worthy of being at the top of S tier, in my opinion. And of course, Golden Angel FRIEZA, the best sparking in the game, like just in general. It's tough. A lot of people say this dude is better, but I could see them being compared to each other because they are both very good. But in my opinion, it's Golden Angel FRIEZA at the top. Like, he just does too much. The blast damage is ridiculous. Like, his Z ability gets 6 stars, giving that plus 2%. Just the blast damage in general is very good. Like, a lot of people think, okay, it's only 2%, but I want you to think of LOE. LOE is a heavily blast-based team, and giving him just 2% more blast damage on top of what they already do is crazy. And he is able to be run on LOE, which is probably the best team in the game at the moment, and Universe Survival Saga, which is a top 5 team in the game, and blast base as well. So it's just too good, and that's just like saying what he does for his teams. If we look at the unit in general. The blast damage is crazy, the blue card damage is crazy, the green card is very good, the ability to heal is ridiculous, the main ability is ridiculous. Like, everything about this unit was ridiculous. Legends just came out and said, we haven't had a Golden Age of FRIEZA in a while. We're gonna release him during the Universe Survival Saga. Just here you go, the best unit in the game, Golden Age of FRIEZA, and is not even close to like any other Sparky. Like, it's ridiculous how good he is. Like, honestly, there's LFs, I'd say he's better than, like, I honestly think he's better than LF full power Jiren. It's tough to compare him. I guess the best LF in the game to me, I'd say, is this LF Tag Goku Vegeta, and honestly I'd say they're on par with him, which is ridiculous. So I'm saying they're probably top 3 unit in the game, and that's ridiculous. So yeah, this is my list at the moment. Honestly, I could maybe put these two like this because I feel like they're just unneeded. Like, you wouldn't use them on their team. You'd use Toppo over him, you'd use Hits, the LF full power Jiren over him. Like, you wouldn't want to use these units at all. The Super Saiyan Vegeta is decent. He has some value, so that's why he is somewhat usable. And then the rest, these in A tier, these in S tier, and these in Z tier. So that's my tier list of all the Legends All-Star units. Let me know in the comment section below whether you agree with me, whether you disagree. Of course, it's all in my opinion, so I don't expect everyone to be like, yeah, this is the best tier list I've ever seen. I don't expect everyone to say this is the worst tier list I've ever seen. Everyone's opinions are different. You could think this Golden Age of FRIEZA is not as good as this, not good enough to be Z tier. You think it's A tier or anything, it's all up to you. But yeah, that's my tier list. So other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, and for see more in the future, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.